Mr. Speaker, thank you. As I rise to make some comments and really appreciate the work done by the Legal Committee, let me take this opportunity to recognize the presence of the Narok County Assembly administrative staff who have come here to visit the Assembly. I know they were recognized earlier, but since they're here and I represent Narok, it will be remiss of me not to make comments and appreciate them for the good work that they do. Mr. Speaker, Narok is a county that receives about 8.8 billion shillings a year in terms of the shareable revenue. And this staff here are the ones who encourages, or rather advises, the Assembly, the legislators in the County Assembly to be able to develop good budgets. So the amount of work that they do is seldom recognized, and today I want to tell them that I appreciate the work that they do, and I hope that they can observe how we do things in Parliament. We recognize our staff, both in the committees and also the clerk, for the good work that they do for us. Others will not be able to achieve much as a Senate. We always must give credit to where credit is due. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to appreciate them and also encourage them to be able to visit. I will be addressing the Assembly of Narok, and I want to take this opportunity to invite my colleagues to be able to come along with me very soon. I'll share it on our platform so that we can be able to share experiences on how we do things. On the second note, Mr. Speaker, I really do believe in the separation of powers on the three arms of governments, the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. And from this note, I want to really appreciate the work that has been done by the Legal Committee in representing and fighting for the independence of this House. Mr. Speaker, the High Court found it wise to be able to give Senate and to interpret the law the way it ought to be interpreted. In terms of oversight, it would be suicidal, Mr. Speaker, if Article 96 of the Constitution gives us the power to oversight on revenue that is allocated to counties, but one arm of government comes and interprets the law differently. So I want to encourage the chairperson of the committee to continue to fight this battle all the way to the Supreme Court so that we can be able to really have a clear separation of powers. Quite often, I hear people criticizing the judiciary, and I take great exception of that because the judiciary ought to be independent. But when it meddles into the affairs of the Senate or this arm of government, then it becomes a little bit tricky. I know we've had a lot of civil rivalry, but for anyone to say that there's no piece of legislation that affects counties, really, it beats the purpose as to why we should have an independent parliament. Mr. Speaker, I support the work, and I really, really appreciate the work carried out by the committee. I know the Committee on Legal and Justice Affairs mostly carry out the work pro bono when they go and represent the Senate in judiciary. But when you compare with the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, and this is why we always have to call a spade a spade. There's no reason as to why there should be a lot of money which is availed by the Parliamentary Service Commission to the National Assembly to be able to fight their battles. Yet, on this hand, just because we have Senior Counsel Omogeni or Senior Counsel Lorengo or Mutula Kilonzo Jr. and all the other lawyers who are here, we are seen as people who can be able to handle their own work. I mean, it is absolutely ludicrous. So I think we need to be able to appreciate. In the role of the Senate, we have to really stand our ground, put our foot down. If the funds are to be distributed equally to fight our legal battles, they should be distributed equally. There's no reason as to why only the National Assembly get all the money. Even us, we need to be able to get some money to be able to fight our battles. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you, and I really support the work, and I recommend what the Legal and Justice Affairs Committee has done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.